Hello, I know who made that beat. Masters and None Podcast, episode 145, and we are live.
Live.
How you feeling, Berto?
Feel good, man.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling incredibly great. What's the matter?
I thought I heard a little bit of feedback, but it could just be in my head.
Nah, it could be a bit of feedback. Is it that mic?
Nah, this thing is... Oh, you know what?
Oh, yeah. Okay, Masters and None, episode 145, and we are live, and we appreciate everybody that's tuning in to the chat if you're here already. To the live episode, we'll get some announcements out of the way. If you can watch the episodes on our YouTube channel, that's what we, we greatly appreciate if you could take care of that.
You get the announcements out of the way. I'm going to fix something.
Go ahead, you got it. So you can watch the video version, but we do recommend that you wear some headphones or something like that because you never know what may be said on here, what may be played. I mean, sometimes it's a live show. That's all we're saying. So do that. And if you don't have time to watch the video version or you'd rather do it while you're driving and it's a little safer to do the audio versions, you can find us on any audio podcast streaming platform such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere that you can find your favorite podcast, Podbean, all that kind of stuff. And if you do find an obscure podcast platform that we are not on, please DM us on any social media. You can tweet at us. You can contact us on any social media, and we'll make sure that Berto gets that episode popping right on there. So that's what we got, and it's a Masters and None podcast. So what's today? What's today's date? March 14th. It's Tuesday, March 14th.
Pie Day.
Is what?
Pie Day.
Oh, that's right. It's Pie Day. Yeah. What kind of pie is it? Is it like peach cobbler pie, or is it like pie like 3.14?
Yep.
Yep.
No, it's pie like 3.14.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 314.
3.14. Oh, shit. That didn't even occur to me. It's 314, which is the rounded version of pie.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You learn something every goddamn day. I'm telling you, this is like May the 4th be with you.
Well,
Star Wars shit.
I honestly didn't even... I just learned that this day existed today.
Because it doesn't exist. There's a day for everything.
Yeah, someone just made this up.
Yeah. My birthday lands on National Coming Out Day. You know that? Yeah, they took my birthday and they made it National Coming Out Day.
Well, I suppose it's not too late. Never too late, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen. My birthday it can be great for more than one occasion.
Yeah.
But so you feel like your money's safe with these banks fucking folding up on us?
You know what? When this originally happened,
I shit myself.
When it originally happened, no, I didn't. I thought it was kind of crazy, and I started looking into it, and I'm like, oh, okay. They really bounced that. The feds really saved them from that because. So what Justin's talking about is the SVB, which is the Silicon Valley Bank. One of the biggest banks to close down in a long time, and I got like a couple details.
Oh, do you have some stuff on it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It was the second largest bank fail, and essentially what happened is that it seems like a series of unfortunate events, right? We talked about this last week. We were talking about how the guy who tried to go to the bank and get like $1 million or $800,000, the bank wouldn't give it to him because they didn't have that liquid in hand. And
that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah, something like that kind of happened in this story too, where instead of the bank not having the money in hand, what ended up happening was they invested their money into bonds, and when the market took a turn, and then those bonds weren't worth as much, people started pulling their money out when the market started to take a shit. So they had to sell bonds at a negative, at a loss, and they didn't have essentially all the money to give to people. And you're looking for it too, because you hear it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's this. Let's try this. You guys ready?
Nope. Let's try this. You ready?
Yeah. Justin's the culprit. He's the guy. It's his fault.
More slack.
No, it's still there. But you know what you could do? You could take this microphone.
No, it's not the. It can't be the mic.
Okay.
Probably,
We could maybe it's your laptop. You have your laptop over there. It's interfering.
Maybe
I don't
plug
know.
in. Ready? Yep.
Yep.
There it is. God damn it. God damn it.
Okay. Well,
Un par de genio que están sentado aquí.
yeah, you're right. You know what? But I feel much better.
Yes.
I feel so much better. I
Yeah.
hate it when there's like a weird thing going on and we don't know what it
course.
is. And I think it fucks with us too.
Well, it does because we want to provide our listeners and our viewers with a good experience. And if
Yeah.
there's some kind of buzzing or ringing, that's the last thing we want. So we want to correct that.
Yeah.
And we've corrected it.
That's it. No more buzzing
Yeah.
or ringing.
What we can't do is correct the nonsense going on with the banks.
I
You
can't
know.
fix that.
Yeah.
But so essentially, back to what I was saying. Now I can deliver this story with much more conviction.
Look at this. Should we have them restart?
I should
Start
just
it from
restart,
the top.
right?
Take it from the top.
So SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, but second largest bank to fail. They placed their money in treasury bonds. When the interest rate rose, the bonds were no longer competitively valuable because of the rates that they had bought in at. So when people were pulling their money out, they would have to sell at a loss. So they're losing money that they're because that's what banks do. When you deposit your money into a bank, that bank will then take that money and then invest it, and they'll make money on your money.
Yeah, which is like the whole purpose behind earning interest on putting money in the bank is they're
Precisely.
paying you to be able to make money with your money. Mm-hmm. You know.
So people wanted to take their money out. Well, everybody's getting afraid. They want to take their money out, and they don't have that money on hand. And so what ended up happening inevitably was the state of California stepped in and shut down the bank and gave all the remaining funds to the federal insurance.
The FDIC.
Sure.
Is that it? Or the Fed? What they call the
It was the Fed. The
It's-
FDIC is involved, but I just don't know what that acronym stands for.
The FDIC, I don't know what it stands for, but they're like the section I believe that insures covers the depositors. So
Correct.
if you put money in there, they insure that money. Okay, if something catastrophic happens, you'll get your money back.
So the FDIC did come in and bail the bank out. Not 2008 when the banks got bailed out, but they were bailed out by the taxpayers. This
Correct.
one's they're being bailed out, but it's not. The money is allegedly not coming from the taxpayers.
Yeah.
So
See,
they
this is they bailed out the depositor now, the customer. Last time
Correct.
they bailed out the banks.
So now,
is different.
if you have money, people are they're everybody's telling people don't take all your fucking money. No. It's crazy how, from my perspective, they kind of just jumped on this and they're like, whoa, don't worry.
Yeah.
You guys are okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll cover the money. They fired all the senior leadership over at what was Silicon Valley Bank. And if you guys don't know about this bank, the reason why you probably don't know about it is because it wasn't really for me and you, everyday Joes. They were a lot of startups and technology companies. It was more
Roku had $400 million plus dollars in that bank.
Yeah, what was the other? There was another one. It wasn't Uber. It was Grubhub or some shit like that. There was companies already announcing yo, take it easy. If our checks don't cash, they're going to some of our money's in this other in the SVB. But essentially, they're everything's all right now. Everything's. Well, we'll get to see. We'll see what really happens within the next how things unfold within the next couple of weeks. But if you had your money in SVB, then you're going to be all right. And it wasn't just them. It was them and two other smaller banks. And the FDIC came in and kind of saved the day, I guess.
Yeah, I have a little list that I pulled up here of banks, or rather companies that had money invested in that bank.
Okay, who was it?
So they're saying now that companies with financial ties to Silicon Valley Bank is Circle, $3.3 billion.
Jeez.
You got Roku with $487 million. You have BlockFi with $227 million. You have Roblox with $150 million. So if you catch these are all, it's like you were saying, these are all startup companies.
They're
These
tech
are all
companies.
tech companies, rather.
Yeah.
They're all tech companies. Ginkgo Bioworks, iRhythm Technologies, Rocket Lab, $38 million, Sangamo Therapeutics. So, it seems like the bank that catered to these tech companies. It was that was their main client base.
What's crazy is that while this is happening, while they're they're losing money, they didn't have a chief risk officer. So now they're going to be investigated. Now the feds are investigating them because for 8 months they didn't have a chief risk officer.
And that's the person that clearly by the title is the person responsible for identifying and analyzing risk and like, hey guys, something's not right here.
Yeah, like if 3 people decide they want to pull out $2,000, we're fucked. You know?
Yeah. That's I'm sure the same shit everybody took over at Robinhood and everybody took. You know.
So now they're subsequently they're going to be investigated by the Department of Justice.
Damn.
DOJ.
The department. The DOJ.
That's the last person you want fucking knocking on your door. I'll tell you what, man. The feds don't miss.
Yeah, they don't miss. They definitely don't miss. And you know what's crazy? I actually just realized I still got to do my taxes.
If it makes you feel better, I did my taxes a while ago.
Oh, yeah, that makes me feel great.
But I have not received any money.
Really?
Yeah, I reached out to my tax guy. It's been like a month. But like a month. I did it like when you could do it. I just sent my shit in. And I did maybe like 2 weeks after like the date you could start doing it. I did it.
Yeah.
Fairly early. It's been like a month and change, bro.
Yeah, nah.
I reached out to him today. He was like, "Oh, you didn't get it?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Yeah, you should have got it." I was like, "Yeah, that's why I'm fucking reaching out. Like I'm going to be okay, but
I'm not reaching out to you because randomly I'm like, nah, I concur. Yeah. I should have gotten this money like some time ago.
I feel bad for the people who are like checking their bank account every single day because I know I can't be the only one.
Nah, there's people that depend on this to like help them get on their feet.
It's like their bonus every year.
At the beginning of the year, they're like, all right, guys, just hang on till tax season.
Yeah.
Just hang on in there, hang on. Listen, ramen one more time. We'll get sushi in 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude, that shit affects people's like dating life and everything. They're like, all right, tax season's coming up. I got to get me one with a couple kids.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get me one with some dependents.
Right. This when your Tinder photo shoot could be lit.
Yeah.
During tax season, you like crazy, bro. I'm gonna rent the Lambo.
Yeah, love kids.
Yeah, buying a bottle at the bar at the club. That's what I'm doing. He's like, make sure the sparklers, get the camera. You know, your man got to be there holding it down, and you know, because tax season's got to, you know, it's got to flex that money for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. Goddamn, I've never done that. I've heard allegedly.
Yeah,
you know, that's something that people do.
I was saying to myself, I'm like, man, if I called this guy after like a month and change, I know there's motherfuckers that are calling him every day. Like, yo, what's up? I haven't got my money yet, bro. What's going on, bro? You know what? Just send me $100. And when it comes, you know, take 120.
Yeah, you also got to know that, you know, in using like an accountant or somebody like that to do your taxes, it's also now you're depending on 2 things to happen. You're depending on that guy to actually submit the shit, and then you're waiting on them to receive it and process it. So there's a middleman now. Yeah. You know, so it's very possible that he got drunk one night, had a great time, and that shit is sitting on his desk, and you called him and he was like, "Oh shit, you should gotten it already, man. Fuck." What does that say over there?
That's also very possible.
Yeah, I mean it happens, but it's at least in now.
It's also a line of liability too.
For who?
For the taxee.
You?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
I get deniable plausibility. Like if something happens, I'm like, I've been paying this guy to do this.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but you know,
if you're Wesley Snipes and you don't want to pay, you'll still go to jail. That's the thing. You won't go to jail if you pay. Yeah, well, everybody who goes to jail doesn't want to pay.
No, but the thing is, they don't tell you that you owe until it's too much to pay.
No, they give you the opportunity. They always give you the opportunity to stick around and give them their money.
Listen,
it's when you start getting crazy talking about I don't have to pay taxes and you become a sovereign citizen.
But that's not true.
That's what put Wesley Snipes in jail.
But he became a sovereign citizen and said I don't have to pay taxes.
No, he didn't want to pay his taxes, and that's why he went to jail.
But you don't know it's that he didn't want to pay it, right?
I don't know this guy personally.
Yeah.
Right? But I do know that they give you opportunities to pay. And if you choose not to pay, that's when they put you in jail.
It depends though, because they're not like us. Right? So we pay taxes differently. Right? Our taxes are taken out before we get our check.
Yes.
Right? They take it out for us.
Yeah.
When you're a rich person in Hollywood and stuff and you just get $10 million checks and they don't take money out of that. It's up to you to give it to a guy that's then going to pay the taxes out of that.
Yeah, which is how most of those guys get fucked.
Yeah, and I saw a very interesting interview. You know Montel Jordan?
Yeah, the talk show guy? The bald black dude?
No, that's Montel Williams.
Oh.
Montel Jordan.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, Come on, yes, that makes sense. That would make sense that I fucked that one up.
Yo, I'm about to laugh like Chronic. You have Chronic laugh? I'm like, Nah, it's Montel Jordan is the guy that's like, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's him. So I actually saw a video of him, an interview of him with Vlad, DJ Vlad.
Okay.
He's talking about how he got into some shit with the IRS and like owing the Fed's taxes. He said that what happened was he owed him 11 grand. He said what happened was he said, me and my wife, he's like, we were like, yo, we need a front of some money from the label because like we need to get paid a little bit up front because we have things to do. We have bills to pay. We have shit to do. So they reached out to the label like, yo, give us a loan. They were like, we can't give you a loan, but what we can do is give you $50,000 for 3 songs. So he's like, oh, okay, cool. So they get to work on the songs. They get to 50,000, whatever. He says, but when you get 50,000 in a lump sum, you have to pay part of that in taxes.
Yeah, 25 grand of that shit is.
Yeah, he said about 11,000.
Oh, is that it?
Well,
Okay.
that's income.
Yeah.
Right. So that's income tax. Income tax can't be more than like 30 something percent. You know, when you get taxed a bonus, I mean, when they tax a bonus or an extra check, you know, then they can tax like 40+%.
Yeah.
But typically it's like 30 something or, you know, depending on the state, but it's usually there's a limit. They can't take all your money, you know, so this guy, he said it was about 11,000. He said, and with the 11,000, he was like, I gave the money to the full check to my account, whatever. He was supposed to pay like the 11 grand. He said he never paid it. So he said, I find out later on. He said, but nobody tells me. They don't let me know. He said, they wait until I owe like $3 million in fees. He's like, they charge you, I think he said 11% per day that you're late.
That's crazy. He definitely got a letter in the mail.
He's like, I don't know, though. You got to think these are rich celebrities with a lot of times they have the means to pay the government.
Yeah.
So they might just sit back. They might send you one thing with nothing on it, some blank fucking envelope, just so they could check the box that they sent you something.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
they sent me a letter once.
Because,
telling me
they
I owed
sent
them
you
some
one
money.
because you're never going to give them $3 million.
No.
You know, he might be able to give him $3 million.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to get my fucking taxes done at a dojo. Yo, I don't know if it's just like in the hood where they do this ridiculous shit, right? But everybody's doing like TurboTax and shit at home and shit. But you guys don't know that in the hood, everybody's like bodega, barbershop, or like karate dojo turns into like a tax spot. Like, and all of a sudden, the guy who's been running this place all year long is now a fucking CPA, right? And he's doing fucking taxes. And there's a line out the door because this guy just got the last guy 12 grand, you know? And they do. Every time I would go to these places, dude, I've been to dojos to get my taxes done. I've been to juice bars. I one time went to a place that was a juice bar and also sold like DVDs and music. It was like the weirdest fucking place, but they weren't.
Why?
On that day, they weren't doing anything. Because
But why are you choosing these places?
Because these are the places that you get the most bread back. Bro, I had that year.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Prank caller. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this.
I ended up getting No, these guys ended up fucking me anyways. I could tell this story because I was later fucking audited.
Oh shit.
Yeah, these guys ended up fucking me, right? So like a couple years after I go to this place, I go to buy a house, right?
Yes.
And when you go to buy a house, you got to give them your taxes. So my banker guy comes to me. He's like, "Yo, where do you work?" And I'm like, "Oh, I work in management somewhere, right?" And he's like, "What the fuck did you spend $24,000 in last year for your job?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, your taxes say you spent $24,000 in unreimbursed work expenses or some shit like that." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, we can't even count that towards your money
You was taking a helicopter to work?
you're making." Bro, my tax guy was putting like this ridiculous amount of money on like on shit that wasn't like that was true. You know, it was all true. I did spend that money that year on work. I bought a lot of suits, a lot of dry cleaning. There was gas, a lot of traveling. So this guy was just doing like, he was doing the wildest shit.
He was doing the most.
Yeah, he was like, how many kids you got? He was like, no kids. You want a kid? And I was like, why? He goes, you want a kid? Which one you like? And I'm like, no kids. No kids this year. I was like, maybe next year. Yeah.
You want to get which one? Listen, I got a spread over here.
Yeah.
He's like, let me see your eyes.
The craziest.
This guy looks like you. What we're going to do, we're going to claim this guy. What's your name? You know, we'll give you a name.
Yeah. Dude, the tax people do the wildest shit.
Yeah, no, they do. They do some crazy shit.
They'll put whatever on there. Dude,
whatever they have to do.
I knew people that would get like 25 grand back.
Yeah.
They're like unemployed. I'm like, how the fuck are you getting so
They're
much
like, bro,
money
your
back?
tax guy, if your tax guy ain't getting you 20 grand, you doing the wrong thing. And it's like, you're going to jail.
Yeah, it's like, I learned this the hard way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's got to be scary. Getting audited by the IRS.
You just got to pay it.
Yeah, you just got to pay it. But see, like,
it's scary if your plan is to not pay, and it would take them a while to put. But no, I just paid it.
Yeah.
I
wonder.
was like, oh, cut my losses. I pay it.
I wonder if Montel Jordan was telling the truth.
Bro, all those guys, bro, a lot of them get fucked. Look at Dane Cook.
What about him?
Remember his brother was doing all his fucking.
Was his brother like stealing his money or something?
All right, so I got to tell this story.
Oh, please. Tell the people the story because I don't even know this story. I was wondering what happened to Dane Cook.
Dane Cook, his brother had been handling all his finances for years. And he was like making sure he paid all his taxes and shit like that. But turns out he wasn't doing shit. He was stealing all of his money for years. And by the time Dane Cook found out, he had like no money left over and he had owed the IRS like millions of dollars.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So
they didn't put that motherfucker in jail. You know why? Because he found a plan. He was like, all right, well, what do I got to do? They're like, you got to give us, $11.99 for the next 65 years a month or whatever. He did a payment plan. Fucking, I hope he caught back up because he had like a resurgence after this. Like once his story went like crazy, when he said it on a podcast one day, and it had like a resurgence after that. I don't know.
I mean, it's crazy because he was the biggest comedian in the world for a little while.
Yeah, he had that big special. What was it called? Dane Cook's.
I remember the two in the pink, one in the stink hand.
Yeah,
I
believe they called that the shocker.
It was like Dane Cook stuffs it all or something. Like I don't remember what it was called. It was like
a world tour though. It was like Dane Cook's.
Yeah,
what was it called? Look it up. It was a good show though. I remember seeing the special. He was funny, bro, and he was in a lot of movies at the time too. Yeah. Vicious Circle is what it's called. Dane Cook's Vicious Circle.
Is that what it was called? Did somebody put that in the chat, or you just happened to?
I just fucking pulled that out of thin air. Look it up. Type in Dane Cook Vicious Circle. I bet you that's what it's called.
You know what? I believe you. Oh, Vicious Cycle?
Vicious Cycle. There we go. Well, cycle is like a circle.
Dane Cook, Vicious Circle. No, this guy is an idiot and got it wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I did this. It's supposed to be this.
Yeah.
Also for the viewers at home.
Yeah. Not a shocker, but I'm pretty sure that'll generate some kind of fluid movement.
Well, I wonder if they were using that technique in one of the stories I wanted to discuss today.
Oh, you got a good story for us?
I got a fairly decent, pretty juicy story because I have a question for the fans or the listeners. I have a question for you. I'd like to open a discourse about this because I'm curious about this because it's happened quite a few times.
Okay.
So, just now, over in the UK, they had 18 female guards were fired or resigned in the HMP Berwyn prison in the UK for having sexual relationships with inmates.
18?
18. This is according to the New York Post. So either they're all slinging something in there, or them ladies are susceptible to a couple of nice things, somebody might say. So what do you got?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, right?
I'm not surprised. Well, listen, I hate to come off as sexist to our 2% women audience.
True.
What the fuck are they doing in there?
I truly don't believe that that's kind of a place where I just don't think it's safe for them. to be in there.
It's not really safe for anybody, but if it's definitely unsafe for somebody, it's like, what do we like?
It's unsafe for them.
Yeah,
100%.
why not? Yeah, like you can. It also like it opens you up for things like this,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I have more details.
and it's not even because like they're women and they're less than. It's not about that. It's like there's scientific studies about this. It happens all the time with doctors and their patients,
Yeah, psychiatrists and their clients.
psychiatrists and their clients. Now, wardens or prison guards or correction officers and their inmates.
Yeah.
It's like it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not really surprised. I'm not surprised, but it is like you guys are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
This is your job, and this guy, while he might be a nice person, is like if you fuck him, you won't get paid anymore.
Yeah, but what do they say? Love will make you do crazy things.
Love will make you do crazy things. I suppose. That's how crazy is that?
Well, I got way more details.
Oh, it goes. All right, let's hear it.
The rabbit hole goes deeper, my friend. It goes deeper. So what they say is that there were these 18 female, and now they say guards, but then it says like some kind of workers. So I'm not sure if they were all guards.
Okay. All right.
But we're talking about 18 female prison employees.
All right. Well, that's different because if there's a lunch lady in there and she's getting slammed, she's probably not getting paid more.
It said guard in the headline.
Yeah.
And this is the New York Post that posted this. So, again, this is a pretty mainstream media source. I don't believe 100% of what they say. So, but I'm just I'm referencing them because this is who had the most detail on his story.
Okay.
So then they have so they said this is what the individual guards had done, right? In terms of this inappropriate relationship they're referring to. So you have one accepted money to smuggle a phone into an inmate that later was used for sexting the inmate. So she got paid to smuggle him the phone. When she gave him the phone, he must have been like, yo, I'm saying, oh, it's good. Like,
Send me some
they had a
flips.
little conversation or some shit. I don't know what kind of game he spit. Apparently it was something impressive.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, when you're in jail, your game is probably A1.
Bro, tell me about the A1 game. I got friends that have trouble getting girls because they ain't got a car.
Yeah.
These dudes live in a cell. Or you see all their worldly possessions right there. Some sheets, some slides, like that's
They're not
really
allowed outside of the floor.
Yeah, but what's crazy is this particular prison they consider to be like a cushy prison. They have phones, they have internet and stuff like that. Like they're able to use certain things, but they were smuggling shit into these guys, which is wild. I mean, if you can G up the CO and have the CO bring you something.
You own the prison.
Bro, you ain't never got to worry about nothing. She's like, listen, they're about to toss your cell on Monday.
Yeah, they're going to take the internet away. Watch out.
Think about how many things like, listen, they doing ravioli tomorrow. Oh, word. You know what I'm saying? Like you get the in on everything.
Yeah. And where are they fucking?
Yeah. So I'm going to get to that.
I think I'm
going to get to that. So said one accepted money, like I said, for smuggling the phone that was later used for sexting the inmate. She got 8 months in prison and was slapped with a misconduct charge.
Okay.
So she got 8 months in prison. That's pretty goddamn significant. I even think that's a little much. 8 months?
I mean, there needs to be like somebody's got to pay the piper, right?
You're right.
Like, there needs to be like someone's got to. There need to be a public beheading so that way this
people avoid this. You got to make an
Exactly.
example of somebody.
Exactly.
So then a second one had sex with a convicted drug dealer who was in prison for causing death by dangerous driving. That was what he was in for.
Damn.
So she performed sex acts on him allegedly and even had sex with him in his cell. So this is according to the New York Post. So, I mean, when it's lights out, it ain't always lights out.
Are they working the graveyard shift with like?
I mean, it could have been broad day. Who the hell knows?
guess.
I don't know the dynamics and the inner workings of a prison. We got to get somebody that we know that's done time. We got to get them in here because I want to know. There's only so much you gain from watching stuff on TV and hearing like stories here and there. I want to know the dynamic. Is there enough time between events or between certain things or whatever where that can happen? Can you just disappear into a cell for hours and nobody knows?
Well, they definitely ain't fucking for hours. This
Well,
guy-
listen, to be smuggling all this stuff, you got to be putting in some kind of work.
Yeah, that cell phone came out and he went in.
Yeah.
That's how that went down, all right?
Yeah.
I don't have to be there to tell you.
So look, we also got a probation officer that had a rendezvous. They called it, quote, rendezvous, which I don't like that terminology because that to me sounds like they're trying to make it something it wasn't.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
European for a link up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A
That's
rendezvous.
French. That's French for hookup.
That's right. For all our French listeners, rendezvous. You know, but it says they had a rendezvous and she had a rendezvous with an armed robber and also sexted each other, and she smuggled him in underwear in her bra. So they said underwear. I don't know if she got him some boxer briefs or if she snuck him in something that he could like put on his head and be all weird in his cell.
That's exactly what it was.
I'm saying?
Those
You
are
think that's
definitely
what it
her
was?
underwear. Yeah.
All right. Well, she smuggled him in her bra.
Well, that's one way to get him in.
Allegedly.
You know, I don't understand the allure, but I'm not a prisoner or a prison guard.
And both of those officers actually got jail time for that. They both did time for that. So
They're
far,
smuggling in contraband.
Yeah.
That's what they got caught for. What else do you think they brought in?
I mean, yeah, God, Lord knows. I mean,
If you could bring in some panties,
you could bring in some weapons. I mean, that's what I'm worried about is the weapons. Like you smuggling in cigarettes and weed, and okay, that fuels like the underground kind of, you know, the black market in the prison that can cause violence secondary to robberies and shit. But I mean, if you're not directly bringing weapons, I mean, it's bad. But I mean, 8 months and stuff like that, jail time for that. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
how crazy is it that there's even a black market in the prison system? There's like, you can be in there and have a significantly better time than other people that are in there.
Of course.
Because how many people have you heard that they're locked up and they're, you know, doing drugs, they're doing this or doing that? You seen who's what's this dude's name from YSL?
Young Thug?
Young Thug, remember Young Thug? The guy who was in jail with him went to go drop him off some hand him pills or something in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And he got caught with like more pills and more drugs on him. Like, how'd he get those drugs? That dude was in there doing life. Like, he ain't never coming home. How's this guy get drugs, let alone bring him to court with him?
I mean, it's stuff like this.
Yeah,
it's like the COs, it's the baby moms that comes to see you and stuff. There was actually just recently a story of a child that was brought to a prison visit that they caught the child giving I forget what it was, but it was contraband to the inmate. So like they did like a visit, like, oh, here's your son or my son, and then he goes over and gives you contraband. You know, it's like, I mean, they use kids for like mules and stuff.
Yeah.
They use it. It's terrible. But there's even more stuff here. It's like it's a 2,000 capacity prison. So that's a pretty decent sized prison. You know, I think, right? I mean, it ain't Rikers.
I'm trying to think of 2,000 people and like how many, because you know they're not comfortable.
Yeah,
So I'm
well,
like,
you know
damn.
what? That's probably not that many people.
How many rooms were
2,000
the building
prison.
that you and I used to work in? 200?
No, like 300. Yeah, like probably like 200 because there was like 400.
So then that's a lot of fucking rooms.
Yeah, that's a lot of rooms.
That's a lot of prisoners.
Yeah, it's a lot of prisoners.
2,000 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. You're right. You are absolutely right. So, and the chairperson of the prison, like the chair of the prison, said that it's wrong. The wrong women are being hired. Says that a lot of the interviews were done via Zoom. So they said that they couldn't really feel out their life experience and see if they were able to handle these kind of inmates because they said they're susceptible to like the coercion of the inmates. I'm thinking to myself,
gorilla pimped in there.
Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gorilla pimp. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this CO is probably gaining just as much as the prisoner, you know? Because I don't know if you ever seen a female CO.
I seen some of the women in these articles.
And they ain't got many choices here.
No, it
You know
looks
what I'm
like
saying?
they probably did. Like, and I'll tell you one thing for the prisoner as well. Spend enough time in that box,
Yeah.
they start looking like Halle Berry real fast.
Oh yeah, listen, bro. That's like that what was that Missy Elliott line when it's like when they take the drink or something, it's like make me look like Halle Berry, don't ya? Some shit like that. When
yeah, I
he
know
looked
what you're
under
talking
when
about.
when he looked into like the glass and had the drunk goggles.
The drunk goggles.
That's the same kind of goggles I'm sure you get from doing a lot of time. I could imagine.
Yeah.
But so this leads me to the question because this happened. And also back in 2013, if anybody remembers over in Baltimore, there was that one inmate that got 3 COs pregnant at once.
Shout out to Spaz.
There were 3 inmates, 3 COs that this one inmate in Baltimore got pregnant in 2013.
What? One
No, I'm
inmate?
sorry, 4.
One inmate got 4 COs pregnant?
4 COs. Yo, 2 of them had his name tatted on them. One had it on her neck. The other one had it on her wrist.
Bro. First of all, this guy's shooting spackle.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
He got 4 of them
fucking
pregnant.
stucco. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God. What?
Yeah, bro. Look. So this is look, I'm gonna tell you right now. In 2013, an inmate impregnated 4 different female prison guards in Baltimore. 13 women were charged in the case that were involved in the prison and dealing with this.
I gotta see this fucking guy.
Yeah,
Is this guy the most handsome man alive?
I'll tell you what. He's the most swaggiest.
He's definitely
if that's
the
the case.
swaggiest, yeah.
And so it says they were. It says the inmate impregnated 13 women were charged for smuggling cell phones, marijuana, prescription pills, and cigarettes into the Baltimore City Detention Center. So this dude was just out there doing the most.
Yeah.
And bro, he was doing so much in there. They got hit with racketeering. Is that crazy, dude? He got hit with racketeering. So 2 of the female prison guards had his name tattooed on their bodies.
Does he get more jail time? Is he not allowed to fuck them, or is that frowned upon? Because they're definitely not allowed to fuck him.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, as far as I know, that's kind of part of the punishment. You're not supposed to be fucking anybody. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, yeah.
Isn't that part of it?
I don't know. Are you allowed to have a consensual relationship?
Like CO and prisoner?
That's
and
definitely
inmate?
not allowed.
Or you mean like inmate and inmate?
Inmate and inmate.
I mean, I don't think it is a penal system, so you're not there for a good reason. It's not like a nursing home
I don't think
where
you're
2
allowed
residents can date because they're there by choice and they pay to be there. I mean, I'm sure that...
I don't think they're allowed to for the same reason why in the women's prisons they cut up all the hot dogs and popsicle sticks.
Oh, probably so. And they shred all the cucumbers.
Yeah, they cut all that shit. You don't get nothing dick
shaped. They turn
shaped.
into zucchini pasta.
Yeah, you don't get nothing dick shaped in the women's prisons. I know this from speaking to women who have been incarcerated. All the best things are all cut up. Corn dogs, cucumbers, fucking sausage, everything. Popsicles, push pops, even the ring pops, right through down the fucking middle. Nothing that looks, like it could be inserted. They cut all that up. They only have the bigger bottles of shampoo, like the rectangular ones. You can't have the cylindrical ones. Anything like that. No fucking Twinkies. They don't care about the texture either. Because anything can be frozen.
Even if it can't stand up.
Yeah, even if it can't stand on its own. Because you put a fucking Twinkie in the freezer and that shit look like me, So, yeah, nothing phallic shaped.
That is funny as hell. So I imagine that it's a similar thing when it comes to male inmates not being able to have sex with COs. And I think that's why... Because I think
grapefruits.
And male to male, I think that it introduces another dynamic that you don't want in a prison. You don't want dating issues. You don't want relationship problems in your jail. You already got a bunch of hopped up testosterone. All guys want to kill each other. And now you introduce dating into the mix. Listen, you're not allowed to date each other. Nobody's dating in here. It's going to cause jealousy and more violence.
But I'll tell you one thing, it definitely does happen. And for context about numbers, although me and Justin went to different schools, Brentwood has 1,800 students in their high school. So that's a lot of fucking people, considering the fact it's 2 high schools in one. But yeah, I don't know if they're. I suppose it's probably frowned upon. I believe that they don't want people having relationships, but whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, nah, man. I remember Oz. I used to watch Oz. You remember Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oz was crazy. I remember that one dude, the alcoholic dude that had wrecked his whip and got locked up. He ended up getting like G'd up by what's his name? He's on SVU. The guy, or he was. No, it's Ice-T, but no.
Ice-T, excuse me. I'm fucking up today.
Yeah.
And I watched New Jack City last night.
You did?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
New Jack City was a good movie. If you guys never seen it and you want to watch some hood movies, go watch New Jack City. It was a good movie.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you what I did see.
What'd you see?
You see Disney unveiled like their real lightsaber at South by Southwest?
What do you mean real lightsaber?
Like they busted out a lightsaber.
Like real meaning what? It can cut through shit?
They use real in air quotes. I didn't see anything. I read a bunch of articles on it. I didn't read a single article that says that it could cut through anything.
Because if it can cut through something, I'm like, goddamn, I'm never riding a subway again.
No,
you know
it-
some psycho is gonna come on there, spray a fire extinguisher, be like, and just he's just gonna run like this, just straight down the subway, taking off everybody's head like.
Nah, it definitely doesn't do that. It definitely doesn't do that. But it's like it's supposed to be like the most real one they have, and it does like the color, it does almost everything like the ones in the movies.
Almost.
That's what the article I read said.
So almost everything, meaning you can't cut somebody's hand off with it.
Yeah, no.
I wonder if you could dice it. I wonder if you could like cut a tomato, some kind of like soft vegetable.
Probably not. They said that they're very fragile, and it's why they currently like they don't work like in combat.
I got you. You wouldn't really want to. Yeah, I guess you can't. If you make it able to cut anything at all, somebody's going to grab it, hack it, and ramp it up and be carving through cars with that thing.
There's people who've made like homemade lightsabers.
I mean, I'm sure the technology exists. Somebody knows how to do it. I mean, what is it, like a laser, I guess? Or
There's a bunch of different ones, but yeah, there's laser ones. Dude, lasers are
won't it go forever, though?
As fuck.
A laser, how do you stop it from extending?
Well, you can
like,
stop
infinitely?
light from traveling, right? Like just like they stop it, they have like light bulbs and shit like that. Like it doesn't it like it's the light, the color will travel, but the beam itself will stop traveling. Maybe there's a mirror in there or something like that.
I see you.
Well, lasers are fucking crazy though. Lasers like those purple lasers and shit, like the green ones or the ones that get extra hot.
Yeah, it's
those
wild.
shits are like fucking. I've seen they could pop balloons, they could light matches.
Yeah, that's wild. Nah, I don't want nothing to do with that shit. None at all. That's how you burn your friend's eyeball trying to play a joke and trying to do that. I'm trying to blind you.
Nah,
I
neither
like
am I.
you.
I like you too, man.
Yeah, you're the man, bro.
I got two like small like articles I wanted to talk about that I think are hilarious. I seen I'm not gonna talk. You know what? Let's talk about. Go ahead. You got something to say?
No, I'm just laughing at Twiz in the chat. He said, "Imagine this ushered in a new era of samurai."
With like lightsabers and shit like that. I don't know, man. I think samurais worked back in the day because nobody had ratchets.
Yeah, right. I'm ready for bum fights to come back and just hand a couple of dudes some lightsabers and just let them go at it.
Let them fight.
Yeah, I would stream that.
How funny was that dude, the bum hunter?
Oh my god, unbelievable.
Can you tell people who don't know who the bum hunter was?
This is not to offend anybody. I'm using the term bum, quoting from the original work.
Or unhoused? What do they call him now?
Yeah, whatever they call them. But in the 90s, you remember that, dude? Like the late 90s?
It was like early 2000s.
It must have been like 2000.
Yeah. It was like early 2000s.
Maybe like 2000 even.
Yeah.
With like Napster and all that crap. And there was a dude that did this. He did this this concept. It was like the first ever. I don't know if I ever really came in contact with almost viral online content before this.
Yeah, this was like it was happening at the time. Girls Gone Wild was like a like one of those.
But
like,
it wasn't
things.
really online, exclusively. You bought it on. There was an infomercial that would pop up on TV.
Yeah, but it was like the same kind of style. Like you could, because I thought you could buy Bum Hunter like DVDs and shit.
No, but it was exclusively online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
something that was on TV or something like that. Like, no way. This is 100%. These were some independent guys.
Yeah.
So they did this DVD series, and it was called Bum Fights. So what they would do is they would get homeless people, and they would pay them money to fight each other. And they would record it, and then they would, or get them to compete in like events. So they, and there was this one guy named Rufus, and like they had names, like they would really go and find these people and pay them money.
Yeah, they were like characters.
Yeah, they would
in
pay
this-
them money, and they'd be like, okay, and they would kind of give them work, like performance work, but really it was probably not the best. They'd have them fight each other.
Yeah.
And then there was another part on Bum Fights. It was called Bum Hunter. It was like a sub show, like a sub segment. And it was this guy
Could
that
have
would,
lived indepently if you ask me.
what's that?
I said it could have lived independently. if you asked me.
100%. And it was this character that this guy would dress like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, right? Like, meaning he had like the Wild Thornberry shit popping. Like he had, he had the khaki shorts and the khaki button-ups, short sleeve shirt. And the boots, the like brown hiking boots or whatever that RIP Steve Irwin, the OG, top G, and he would wear this shit, and then it would be nighttime, he would have a cameraman and they would have a light and it looked like they were crocodile hunting. But then before you know it, you realize that they're actually in a back alley in like California or something. And he would just jump on these homeless people and
Like while
hold
they're
them
sleeping
down
and
and hold them down while they're sleeping as if they were an alligator. And then so they start thrashing, trying to survive, thinking they're being attacked. And this guy would be on top of him and he would be talking like Steve Irwin. He'd be like, "Oh, crikey, this is he's a strong one. Wow, look at him bucking." You know, and then the guy, and then, yeah, it's wild, bro.
How crazy is that?
It was crazy.
This guy is walking around in a khaki suit with a cameraman jumping on sleeping homeless people in the middle of the night and then narrating it in an Australian accent.
Completely. And then he'd be like, "Not gonna hurt you, not gonna hurt you." And then he'd be pointing at him like, just like the crocodile hunter. He'd be like, "Look at this." He said, "Look at this. Look at all the stress all over him. Look at his hands." He'd be like, "Look at the nails. A lot of time, a lot of nights out here in the wild." You know, he'd be doing shit like that. It was crazy. And then he would let him go and be like, all right, gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. All right back home. And then he'll like just get up and let him go. And he would just leave with his friend, with like his crew. And it's funny, Twiz is on here. He just quoted Bling Bling. Bling Bling was another character on there. He was a crackhead. And his name was Bling Bling. And I remember he used to sing this song. He had this, you know, that crackhead voice from like smoking all that bass. They're like, man.
Yeah.
So he is about to smoke crack and they're filming him. And so he goes, he's like, "Bling Bling, pull his crack pipe out his collar." And then he reaches in his dusty dress shirt and he pulls out a crack pipe. And he proceeds to smoke crack, and then you see him get all paranoid and shit. Like, and mind you, this is so long ago, bro.
It's like in Miami, too. It's like Florida,
bro,
right?
Yeah, it was either Florida or California. I think it was Florida.
I think it
was
was
somewhere
Florida.
where it was nice with palm trees, and it was in America.
It was definitely
so that's
like,
our two options.
They're definitely adjacent to like when Bang Bros came out. Like it's like this, like they might have had the same camera crew.
Yo, possibly, you know, but it was crazy to see now in hindsight with like today's thinking. I mean, I was a kid when I saw that. Dude, I was a kid when I saw that.
They would be
You know what I'm
sentenced
saying?
to death.
I was like an early teen when I saw that. So it's like now, today, dude, what?
Those guys should be sentenced to death. Listen, Adam 22 did a bunny hop over a homeless dude one time and almost got canceled. These guys would be imprisoned.
Yeah, this is something.
They'd be totally canceled.
But I'll tell you what, when I was younger watching this, it was one of the craziest things I ever saw.
It's hilarious. Things could be really mean and hilarious.
It is.
Things could be wrong and funny at the same time.
Yes, it's wrong, and it already exists. It's not like I'm promoting people to do this today.
Yeah, you couldn't do it
This is something
today.
that exists back in the day, and God damn, I think I downloaded it on Napster, dude.
What's crazy is that I don't even think you could get away with it today. That's how you end up getting killed.
Nah, you can't. You can't.
You get juked
get
by
away
one
with
of
that.
these dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah, you can't.
This guy's lucky too.
You kidding me, man? The homeless people now, they got like tax-paid for gym memberships and shit. They're all like fit. They're doing like, yeah, I train jujitsu. Where you live? In the street, but the government just give me money and they let me train. You know, it's like,
I got
what?
my tablet and my cell phone.
Yeah, what else I need?
I got a Netflix subscription.
Yeah, what you got? Verizon? Psh, that shit whack. Look what I got.
Obama phone.
Bro, I saw a setup that a homeless person had that was on like Skid Row over there or like California.
Oh, you talking about the lady with like the air conditioning and shit?
Bro, the lady, she had a full tent. She had a full queen size bed.
Oh, bro, she had the cleanest. She had like a studio.
Yeah.
It was a huge bed.
Yep.
She had air conditioning. She had everything.
And the dude was filming in there. He was like vlogging. He was like, oh my God. He's like, what do you have? And she's like, oh yeah. She had like a deep fryer and shit. She was cooking in there. People were coming in there. It was like the spot to stop at.
Yeah.
I'm like, but how do you protect yourself at night when you're sleeping in your queen size bed? You on a sidewalk. You know?
It's a community. Because her tent is next to another tent that's next to another tent that's next to another tent, so on and so forth.
Which is
right?
what's terrifying. Those are all people that are, it's like vagrant, dangerous, on drugs,
but if she
psychotic.
feeds those people every day, and like, you know, that's a community within a community.
No
Like,
matter how often you feed a grizzly bear, he might just eat you one day.
That is true.
You can't predict the behavior of these people.
No, that is 100% true. But I believe that's something that's affording her that could be something that could afford her some level of like of safety. Also, she might not fuck around because if she's out there, she's probably like, I don't need none of you motherfuckers. I juked Tony. She goes,
Yeah.
remember, you don't see Tony. Nobody sees Tony no more. You know
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Because I juked him last week because he tried to take the air fryer.
Yeah, turn that fool into a lampshade.
Yeah.
You see that right there?
So you know what? We think that,
That's
that
true.
I think maybe she's being protected by the community, but the reality of it is
She
that
might just be a
could
G.
gangster.
That's true.
And you have to be like that to live in those kind of conditions.
That's 100% true,
You've
bro.
removed yourself away from society. You've said that, like, essentially, you're saying like, no, I want to do whatever I'm doing out here more than anything else. I don't want to be a part of society. I don't want to take part in what's going on out there. I don't want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
I want to live out here in the streets.
I want to be a feral human.
Yeah, and I was gonna. The truth is, I was gonna make a remark about like drug addiction and stuff like that. But there's probably just as much mental health issues than there is like drug addiction within the homeless community.
True. Then that begs the question, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Oh,
Were
I
you
don't know,
mentally
man.
ill before you were on the street, or are you on the street because you're mentally ill, or are you mentally ill because you're on the street?
So you know what's interesting? We live on Long Island, where there used to be a very, very, very large psychiatric institution.
That's right.
It was like one of the biggest, right? And now it doesn't. Now it's years and years have gone by, and it's gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. One of the arguments that I used to always hear is that where are all the people that are there, all the residents, gonna go? Are they just gonna go to the street, and it's gonna have this large influx of unhoused or homeless, whatever you want to call them, people? And I haven't seen too much of it, but it seems like California doesn't have that, and they have like an overwhelming amount of homeless people.
I think they're just out in the community
Yeah, and their weather's better.
because they haven't. Yeah, of course.
It's difficult to be home. You got to be a gangster to be homeless in New York.
Yo, homeless people in New York are very. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. If I had to put money on it, and we were to take a bunch of New York homeless people,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and if we were to fund their invasion of the California homeless people, they would wipe those people out. Those people would be like, "Oh my God, it's cloudy today. You're outside."
Yeah.
And New Yorkers would just take over everything.
Are you kidding,
They'd
bro?
be like 300.
I was just gonna say that. Fuck you. I was just gonna say that we have the 300 of the homeless people.
Sorry.
Are you kidding me? I was literally, you can see my face. People, you can rewind this and you can see it in my face. I'm like waiting to get it out. But you're absolutely correct. We have
Yeah.
like the Achilles.
Yeah.
You know, like
they'd be riding rats on the way to battle.
yeah, our homeless community would fuck up the homeless community in California.
Yeah, they could. Even though they're fitter, they're fit for like aesthetics. New Yorkers are like just gritty.
Yeah.
You know, like come on, bro. That shit would be crazy. I would definitely take the New York homeless over the California homeless
Yeah.
in like some kind of an invasion scenario. 100%. 100%. You don't want nothing to do with New York homeless.
No,
bro.
you don't. Speaking of like ridiculous shows, we were talking about Bum Hunter. There's like another show that I stumbled upon today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
if
ever
this is-
see Bum Hunter?
No, I've seen bum fights.
All
I
right,
don't
we're gonna
remember
watch that
seeing-
together after this.
I don't remember seeing Bum Hunter.
I'll remind you.
It's very possible I've seen it when I was a kid. I just don't remember it. But no, I don't. Bum fights I did see. I want to talk to you about this other show that I stumbled upon. This one's a weird one.
Yeah?
You know, in other countries they always have like these like obscure shows that like just don't land over here.
Yes.
The algorithm had fed me a show, a Japanese show, where you go up and you do karaoke.
Okay.
But while you do karaoke, somebody beats you off. And you got to do karaoke while getting your chicken choked. I'm not kidding. And like, so you're up on like a pedestal and there's like a towel thing like over your groin area, but then the towel like ends and you can see like your legs and your pants around your ankle.
Yeah.
And like you're doing karaoke and this chick is just going to town.
And so you got to have one or the other. Either you can't sing at all and you're enjoying yourself, or it's as if they're not even there and you're crushing some Celine Dion.
Yeah, I have a
know what I
feeling
mean?
I'd be very good at this game.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'd go in there and they would call me the songbird of my generation. I don't know. I feel like I could go in there and just dead stare.
I think we could sponsor this.
Yeah.
When's the next season?
I don't know. I didn't even get through like a whole.
Well, let's
fucking-
find out.
I seen a clip.
Masters and None IRL.
Yeah, I seen a fragment of a clip. I'll tell you one thing. If I go,
Tell me too. Tell me two things.
Two things. She's gonna need two hands. I'll tell you right now, because I'm doing an album. I'm not
You're doing that. You said, listen, I don't know if you know, sweetheart, we're doing a world tour.
I'm doing a double disc. I'm doing the gift and the curse. I'm doing disc 1 and disc 2. All right, they're gonna have to sub somebody in.
You about to get some sweatsuit Nelly?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just think it's fucking crazy how like, but I think it correlates with like those Asian shows. I think they do have like crazy game shows over there. And that's just one of them.
Oh my God, those shows are great. Like that 100, whatever that is.
Oh, Physical 100 on Netflix.
I think that's what is that Korean? Where's that show?
I believe it is Korean. It's
Okay.
called Physical 100. It's on Netflix. There's another Netflix show I want to talk about after this. Physical 100. It's a show on Netflix where they take some of the best athletes that Korea has to offer. We're talking like multiple Olympians, people who are like the best in their like sport. And it's not just sports, it's people who are athletic. So they have like fire rescue people, they have like climbers, so on and so forth. All these athletes, and they put them into a competition where they all compete against each other. And people who are like Olympic swimmers are going against people who are Olympic bodybuilders. People who are climbers are going against karate people or jiu-jitsu people. I don't think there was a professional StarCraft player there. I'm not sure if there was a video game player there, but I feel like, I don't want to ruin the show, but you got to watch it. It doesn't always matter what you look like, That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Nah, I liked it that they put men and women against each other too.
Oh yeah.
There was no like protect one person, protect the other. It was like people could pick.
There's some savage women there, dude.
There were
some like Olympic wrestler women, and I'm like, dude, these fucking chicks, she'd ankle pick me and have her way with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was weird because there was a lot more physical challenges, like altercations, than I thought. They had a lot of wrestling, a lot of like rugby challenges, like go get the ball and take the ball from the other guy in a certain time limit. So it got very physical.
I will say one thing is that they're all like so respectful over there that it not for a second did anything ever get rowdy.
No, it didn't.
You couldn't do that show in America.
No, as physical as it got, it never got rowdy. Yeah, you couldn't do that. Like
it was.
People would have been jumping people. Like there would have been people that already became friends in the show and been like, "Yo, if anybody takes you down, bro, I got you."
Yeah,
you
facts.
know? So when that guy gets taken out, all of a sudden you see one of the other guys jump in and start stomping him, and you're like, "What the hell's going on?" It's like, "Yo, it's my guy, man."
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
This ain't the real world, bro.
It's a game show, bro.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? This ain't Fear Factor.
They got some good game shows.
Yeah. What, on Netflix?
Asia in general.
Oh yeah, they do.
They do got some good game shows.
They do. Squid Game was incredible.
But they've always had like crazy game shows.
Yeah. They do always have
I think they're doing a new Squid Games.
Really?
Yeah.
That show was pretty goddamn good. It was brutal, but it was good.
I thought it was good too. I'm watching this other show on Netflix, and it's about like surviving in the wilderness.
Is it like Alone?
It's like Alone,
but
I'm gonna look up what it's called real quick. Are you gonna look it up?
No.
It's like Alone, except you're in groups.
I could look it up if you want me to.
No. I'm gonna find.
I'm Twiz. I'm Twiz. I'm Twiz Light.
Yeah. You're
I'm Twiz Light.
Okay, so the show is called Outlast, and there's 4 groups, 4 people per group.
Okay.
And your objective is to outlast everybody else in the wild.
Okay.
And they're in Alaska. You're close enough to the other groups where you can you'll see each other.
Okay.
Like throughout the experience. And last team out wins. Individuals from teams can leave.
Okay.
And you can leave your team and join another team if you'd like. There's essentially no rules except you can't physically harm each other. So you can go to the other camp and set fire to their camp. You can go there and steal their things.
But how can you do that safely, set fire to their camp? I guess you wait for them to go out and do something and then you just run and torch their shit. Damn, that's pretty...
It's crazy, dude.
What's it called?
It's called...
Outlast?
Thank you, because I didn't remember.
Yep, I'm about to watch it tonight.
It's pretty good.
I'm watching it tonight.
I binged it. When it comes to... If you like survival shows and shit like that, like it's a good show. Bro, when you see the personalities and the dynamics of these people, it's crazy, bro. People will do anything to survive and win, Well,
that's how people are. It's I think people tend to have a little bit more in them than they think they do. and then other people crash and burn immediately.
Yeah.
Like they have nothing. So I'm going to check it. I want to see. I'm going to see if I could guess. I'm going to take, do they have any point where they show all the contestants like at once?
Yeah. In the beginning, you see everybody.
At once you see everybody.
Yeah. And I want you to know that there's somebody on this show that's completely irrational, that does not live in like the same reality as all of us.
No, of course. That makes for good TV. I'm sure they cast that person intentionally. I'm sure it's a woman, and I'm sure she's very confused about the way the world works.
Bing, ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding,
So,
ding.
you know.
Bro, when I tell you, I don't want to say anything because it's still a new show, and I do want people to go watch it. It's called Outlast. It's on Netflix.
This is my homework.
It's a good show.
This is my homework. We're going to touch back on this next week.
Yeah, I think it's only like 8 episodes too. It's not incredibly long. It is a good show. What time we at?
We're over the hour.
All right. You got anything else? Are we
Nah,
about
I
to
think
fuck
that's
off?
yeah. I think that's it, man. We're about to sign off. I think we made pretty decent time. I mean, we missed Twiz. We missed the shit out of Twiz, to be honest. But we'll work it out, man. So that's what we got, guys. Remember, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so every time we go live, you guys don't miss an episode. Watch the episodes if you can, because I think the video dynamic gives it a little bit better experience. But if you can't, feel free to check us out on all audio podcast platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you can't find us on your favorite podcast platform, you can hit us up in the DMs on any social media. And Berto's going to what?
I'll add us there. Check us out. We're on every other social media platform: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the big ones. MySpace, Mi Gente, High Five, Black Planet. All of the good social media platforms. We're on there. Check us out. Follow us.
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Tune to go to Twiz's cam. Actually, I don't even know if Twiz's cam works. Well, Twiz isn't here with us today, but we miss him. And that's it.
Nope.
No
Look at
Twizzy
that.
cam.
No Twiz. No Twiz.
I feel like we're like peasants here. We got no
Twiz.
information. We're switching cameras by ourselves. Ew.
No Twiz.
We're Twizless.
Twizless. Ha, like he said, it's almost like Twizzlers, like
Yeah,
Twizzless.
you see what I did there?
But that's what we got, guys. Mastering On Podcast, episode 145. Please share it with at least one person you know. And if you have anybody that you think would be an interesting guest, somebody local we prefer, you feel free to DM us and let us know where we can check them out. And we'd be happy to touch base.
Facts.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Mastering On Podcast. We out.
I gotta change the music, guys. Hold on. I gotta run the music.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.